Hello, everyone. Welcome to the You Like That podcast with me, Jack.
And me, Adam.
And we're back again. You got me in my head about that seconds thing.
I know, I kind of have to.
Far out.
We're slowly trying to piece together better ways to make this flow better.
It's the most stressed I've been yet.
It's fine. We're only talking about a couple seconds here. And I think we got it. We'll figure it out in the editing.
Hopefully we're not interrupted by a MotoGP race out the front or God himself with a storm.
Yeah, hopefully that guy's bike did just completely break down and we won't have to hear it for quite a while.
Struck by lightning or something. Maybe they're two combined.
Yeah, maybe. That's always possible.
Anyway, we're talking about Parasite today.
Yes.
The Oscar-winning, Best Picture-winning, entirely Korean.
Just a completely out of the ballpark
thriller,
movie.
I guess you'd call it a thriller.
I think most people labelled it as a drama comedy thriller.
Yeah.
If you could have a more weirder mix of
I know, they're all
genre.
So opposing, but when you watch it makes sense.
That can make completely sense.
Anyway, it's directed by Bong Joon-ho.
Let's just get this.
Right.
We're going to try to avoid the actors'
So what
name.
I did is I didn't write down any of the actors' names or any of the characters' names because it gets to a point where it's more inappropriate to try.
Yeah.
So just look them all up. They're all fucking amazing. Just just take 1 minute to just look them up and you'll see why I didn't try and pronounce them.
Yeah.
I'm
just call them
very, very
the Kim family
uncultured.
and the Park family.
Yeah.
And they're a rather set father, daughter, son, mother.
Yeah.
So it's going to be easy to sort
There you
of
go.
decide.
Or we could just be like, poor son, rich son.
Exactly. See, this is the struggles that we're going into making an episode like this. I never thought making this podcast I'd ever be sitting down talking about an international film in a completely different language.
Yeah.
And trying to really say what I felt about it.
I don't watch a lot of entirely foreign language movies.
See, I do. I really enjoy international films, both all the ones that are just, the late night SBS.
Yeah.
Fun, like Shaolin Soccer.
Yeah, well, one of my favorite movies ever is Kung Fu Hustle.
Yeah.
And that's the same people.
That's the thing. I give mad props to SBS.
Yeah.
When you're up late at night and you don't have a job and you got nothing else to do, you whack on SBS and bang, there's a fucking hectic movie on it. I know there always will be.
Yeah.
And it's sort of where the love for it comes from.
I watched interviews with the director today and I was just like, I'm making a point of trying to pronounce it. Like, I even wrote it down, pronounced his last name. And then in the Reddit thread, they were like, oh, this is how you actually pronounce it. And it was nothing like I was saying. So, whatever.
That's where we're at.
So it's the same director who did Snowpiercer, which is awesome. That's in English.
Haven't seen it.
Okay. He did The Host.
Seen it.
That is
great movie. Again,
also,
SBS movie I found.
Yeah. Which is a really cool, weird monster movie.
It's what your international Asian films
absolutely
are
nothing like this movie.
No. The title sort of makes it seem something completely different, but
yeah, well, we'll get to that. So this movie has fucking skyrocketed, and won Best Picture. I got a lot of hype. Nobody knew what it was. Nobody knew what it was about. Nobody knew what they were getting into when seeing it. Yet still, the audience score 91%, and the Rotten Tomatoes 99%,
which is almost fucking unheard of.
Yeah.
The Rotten Tomatoes got to be higher than the audience.
It is madness.
Jesus. And I think that just comes down to how smart this movie was.
Yeah.
Which was a lot fucking smarter than I was.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that much.
It's very highly metaphorical, which they reference a lot in the, that's one of the recurring lines is how metaphorical.
Exactly. It fucking says it in the movie. I'm just going, hold on. I'm trying to piece together the metaphor. Stop telling me there's a metaphor.
And you're winking and laughing at me.
Yeah. Just stop. Let me try and process the metaphor a second. Because as soon as the movie goes into the realm of, hey, there's a metaphoric meaning behind what we're trying to portray in this film, I go, whoa. I don't understand.
So, you didn't know anything about this going in either, did you?
Right. So it was the same sort of deal as most people where they heard through the grapevine of this movie called Parasite and it's getting really high recognition. It's doing that internet trend of being that under the radar film that a select few people have gone, it's fucking brilliant. And then eventually people go, okay, check it out.
And it's good.
So now where the fuck it is now. So yeah, I went into it going, I never heard about it before it got released. I never knew what it was about when I did hear about it. I'm like, I never watched a trailer until a couple nights ago.
So yeah, okay. I didn't at all. Once I heard how good it is, I was like, "Oh, that's it!" Like complete blindness, and then just avoided it somehow. So a basic summary is like a really lower class family find an opportunity to get in with a very, very well off family and sort of, integrate their way into living that lifestyle pretty much without being invited. Yeah. Really.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then it takes quite a turn in the middle, and
it takes many turns. And there's, again, you go into it and you don't expect these turns because at the end of the day, you don't know what is actually going to come out of this movie. Because even when I did watch the trailer, I didn't know what the fuck was going to happen. Yeah, because the trailer sort of pans out the way the movie does, where it starts at a point and then eventually by the end, you think there's going to be twists and turns, but you don't know how it's going to play in. You don't know how the story's going to progress.
Yeah.
So they did well on the trailer to still not give anything because really at the end of the day, it's an international film. No one's really going to sort of go onto it and know what they're going to expect getting this movie.
Yeah, because like Western trailers tell you every single plot point.
Western trailers will give you the fucking ending in the trailer, and you go back and you go,
like, "Hey, dummy,
serious? Did you just fucking spoil that for me?
Hey, dumbass, this is what you're gonna watch. Get in your seat.
Yeah,
give us our $12, whatever movie tickets worth these days."
Yeah, shout out to the cinemas. $17.50 for a ticket these days. You just want us to be members at your fucking cinemas. I swear to God.
And we still do it.
Of course we do.
And we still do it.
Coming from the guy that doesn't watch movies.
Anyway, so did you like it?
I fucking loved it.
Okay.
This movie was fucking brilliant.
This is a wonderful movie.
It is. It's so different because I act like such a fucking meathead when it comes to movies where I just want action or comedy movies or B-grade horrors. So I'm out of the realm of artsy, metaphorical movies that sort of make me intrigued and interested to keep watching. And this is one of the movies where the last 2 days on my drives to and from work, I've been thinking about this movie.
Yeah.
And it just, it latched to me like a parasite.
It stuck with you, yeah.
Yeah.
It
was a fucking brilliant.
It's a great movie. It's a really
no doubt about it. It deserves all the credit that it's got, all the awards, the accolades, everything, except for the tweets from Donald Trump saying that he fucking can't believe they gave Best Picture to a Korean movie.
He's just a fucking moron.
We don't need to go into that, but he's just a fucking muppet.
Yeah. It's just one of the most clever movies I've ever seen. Like, it is definitely smarter than me, but it's just so the way it unfolds is just incredible to watch. Yeah, I gotta stop saying just. I've just realized how many times I said just.
It's fine.
The way it unfolds and like everything that happens is another. Oh, okay, this is happening.
Yeah.
Oh, and you're never going, oh, well, that's a bit obvious, or whatever the critiques have been.
Yeah.
You're just going, this makes sense.
I felt like the movie was just on a constant uphill stroll.
Yeah.
I struggle to think of any parts of the movie where it goes downhill and you sort of start to lose a bit in the plot or what's happening or what's unfolding.
Because all the exposition happens in front of you. It's happening pretty much in real time.
Yeah. And it's just, it does so well just to keep you going and just upping itself. And you're sitting there like, well, how the fuck is this going to keep going? Yeah. And it just keeps going and it keeps fucking going until the end where you're like, what the fuck? We've hit the fucking peak of the mountain. Now what?
Yeah, if you watch the first 10 minutes and then go away and watch the last 8 minutes, different movie. A completely different movie. You'll be like, how many movies have played through in this time?
Yeah.
Because how the hell did we get here?
Yeah.
So my best advice is if you do want to watch it, pause this, go and watch it, and come back, because going in entirely blind, like even that little summary, when I was like, before I watched it, when I was taking the notes, I read that, and then I was just like, oh, I kind of wish I didn't read that. Like, I wish I just knew absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And I think it's best enjoyed that way.
Yeah, 100%.
Because every single twist will really legitimately be a twist.
Yeah, definitely. If you haven't seen this movie, stop listening to the podcast now, because we'll dive in a bit more, because there's more to talk about in this movie that will definitely spoil the movie. So
But please come back.
Just know it's a fucking brilliant movie. So take this moment to pause us here. We'll see you eventually. And when you're ready, come back and we'll discuss the rest of it.
You know what? We'll sit quietly and wait for you.
We'll sit quietly and there's going to be no editing here.
In real time.
I want to watch the seconds roll.
No, I already hate this.
No. Shh. And we're back.
Good movie, huh? Man.
There you go.
That was a good movie.
I hope you guys enjoyed
I'm
it.
glad we watched that again.
No, but...
So a really poor family, just pinching pennies, scraping to get by, get an opportunity through the son's friend.
Yeah.
Who he's traveling abroad. He's tutoring this really rich girl.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, you just do it. Doesn't matter if you're no good at it, because the mum's a bit of a space cadet.
Yeah.
And then he gets in, he sees, that the mum's super gullible, super welcoming and stuff and nice.
Yeah.
And then he's just like, the wheels start in motion to get the entire family hired around this house.
It's so fucking smart.
Yeah, it really is.
It's so smart the way it all fucking happens.
And yeah, that's their plan. Their plan is just to pretty much work there every day as a way of living there, really.
Yeah, getting a taste of that upper class sort of life. Somehow.
And it's shot and it's written and it's performed really I don't know what the word is.
We don't know words.
Yeah, I guess there's no sense of there's nothing sinister looming. You don't think anything bad is going to happen. There's that sense of they might get caught, or they might get caught onto a lie, but they don't even really hint at that.
No,
for the first half of this movie,
there's definitely nothing to give you that feeling that there's going to be a really troublesome ending to this story.
You're just watching this family get hired, and it's all going really.
You're watching just some very, very smart, lower class,
incredibly smart people,
family brilliantly maneuver their way into firing a whole group of rich fucking workers,
and
replacing them.
I guess that's the first big metaphor is when you're poor, desperation, causes you to do these wild things. But because you're poor, it doesn't mean you're necessarily dumb or non-skilled, or you just don't have the opportunities.
Every member of that family has their own unique traits themselves.
Yeah, the daughter's like a genius with Photoshop, and she makes fake degrees and stuff. And I like how they pieced all that in. Yeah. And it's just like, is this going to come back later? Maybe, maybe not. Some of it comes back. Some of it's just really cool world building. Really.
Yeah.
So, that all happens, and then the middle happens, which is one of the most astonishing revelations I've ever seen. I genuinely gasped out loud when the old lady ran downstairs.
Yeah, that was fucking whack, man.
So what happened is the old housekeeper that they kicked out had been living there under the house with her husband.
Yeah.
And that's the revelation, is there was already a parasite living in the house.
Exactly.
Who had done the same thing as this
they build up so well in the talk of the houses in Korea, and that the bigger mansions and higher living families have basements, semi-basements,
and the house is a character. It is gorgeous. I don't know if it's a set or an actual location, but it is very beautiful.
I wouldn't be surprised if it is on location.
Yeah, because your way around it. He shoots it so well. You can be like, if I walked up these stairs, I would know where to go to get to the daughter's room or the son's room.
100%.
Just because of the way he shoots it. It's all really wide frames, very static, but super symmetrical. It's all it's so perfect to look at.
Yeah, it's simple. There's not much going on. It's a large area.
Yeah.
And you look at it, there's the scenes where they, when they're looking out into the backyard through the massive glass windows, and it's just this beautiful green bush. And even me and Brooke were sitting going, fuck, imagine just sitting there looking out there.
And it's perfect. It's beautiful. Perfect, symmetrical, perfectly cut. It's gorgeous.
Fucking
And there's no swoopy handheld shots. It's all very just on the dolly, slow pan, following characters, if it moves at all.
Yeah.
Sometimes he'll just put the camera there and go.
Yeah, there it is.
Because this one of my notes is it could be a play, because there's really only 3 or 4 sets, and then it's just mostly the family. Yeah. The one family just acting off of each other. Yeah. So you could just be watching a stage, and the way he shoots it as well is like that.
Yeah, it's sort of the shooting is done really well with like the Kim family living in their semi-basement, and you always get that feeling that it's always shot lower.
Yeah.
Like it's looking down.
Literally underground, yeah.
And that's some of the points I found online. A lot of people saying is the way that it's shot is like that. So it gives you that other feeling of doesn't matter how high these people can get, it's always going to be looked down on them in a way. So like that semi-basement is, it's half sunken down, and those shots through the windows are always panning down on them.
Yeah.
And when you have the Park family, the rich family, it's never looking down at their perspective ever.
Yeah, right.
It's always basically they looked it down to the Park family never looked down on anything.
Okay.
Because they feel like maybe they feel like they don't need to ever look down because why should they?
Yeah.
They're such wealthy family. What's the point of looking down on the poor or anything like that?
Right.
Like when in the end scene when the Kims are having dinner and getting drunk in the family lounge room and they all hide under the table, you think
it's obvious because there's even that shot where he's just lying in the middle of the floor.
Like you think, fuck, they just look down, they could see all these people down there. You never really see them look down.
I didn't even think of that. Yeah,
that's one thing.
This movie would reward so many watchers, I reckon.
But without a doubt, that's why a lot of people say the second watching this movie is so much better because with the first time you watch it, you're more focusing on the subtitles of the movie. You're trying to take in that text because you obviously English speaking, we don't know what is actually being said, so you have to drag your focus away from what's happening to see what they're saying.
Especially with a story like this, because there's quite a bit happening.
And they say, you do that, and then when you go back, don't pay attention to the text. You know what's happening.
Look around.
Look what's happening on screen now.
Yeah.
And they say there's so many other little things in there where you'll notice, like with the old guy that's downstairs hiding in the basement where he's doing the Morse code and the lights. It's early on in the film that starts.
Yeah.
You don't notice it. I didn't notice it at first.
Definitely didn't notice it.
No fucking idea. And then it's not until after you figure out it's happening, you're like, oh, okay, that's cool. And you go back and like, fuck, that's happened from the start. What's happening?
Yeah.
So there's so much more reward from watching it a second time. I think this is a movie you can watch a second time, a third time.
Definitely.
You're always going to find something new in this movie because of just how fucking well it's done.
And it's just nice to look at. It's one of the best looking movies I've
Very
ever
clean.
seen. It's gorgeous.
Clean.
Yeah.
Because
there's no wasted space. There's nothing unnecessary.
They didn't have to waste any money on CGI.
No.
Next to no props.
Yeah. Well, the budget was only $11 million.
Yeah.
So that's nothing.
That's just your location settings, your film crews.
Yeah.
Casts.
Yeah.
And that. You're not doing much in terms of, having to hire out a big warehouse to build a set or anything.
No.
That said, this looks like it's all just on location.
Yeah.
In Korea somewhere. So it's like, you pay off real estate to hire out that big mansion for how long you got to film for.
77 days, the entire shoot.
77 days?
77 days. I don't know if that's a lot or not, but that's just a thing I listened to in an interview today.
Yeah, I think it's pretty standard. I think a lot of films are shorter than what you think.
Yeah.
And you think 77 days doesn't sound like a lot, but it could be a lot
if they're like 12-hour days even. Like,
sort of thing. But at least you know that they're not having to bounce back and forth through 1,000 different locations like you would with like Avengers or Lord of the Rings or something like that.
Yeah,
It's very simple, so they can really pay attention to making this film look as gorgeous as it is.
And boy, do they succeed.
So
there's no real villain. Like, I really like that they didn't, like, the rich people aren't the stereotypical rich people.
Yeah.
They're actually incredibly nice and incredibly welcoming.
Yeah.
And incredibly, like, they're quite humble. Like, they're aware that they're well off. Like, sometimes you'll walk in with, like, all those presents and stuff, and he's, like, sort of flashes it around, but mostly he's just, like he's a really nice guy, even though he's, like, in, like, Back to the Future 2 or whatever, he's this tyrannical rich boss of this company. He's not that. He's just a family man. And it shows there's some really nice moments with his family where he's playing with his son on the walkie-talkies and stuff. He's just a good dad.
Yeah, it's not that. Yeah,
he's a good dad. He's not like, he doesn't come home and like hate his wife or anything. It's just, they're just like really nice people. Yeah, even though they're rich. And there's the line, something like, they're not nice because they're rich. they're rich because they're not. It's something like that.
Yeah. They're only nice because they're rich.
But even then,
the Kims say about them.
And even then, the Kims are quite cynical about it. They're like, well, if I was this rich, I'd be nice too.
Yeah, and that was a big thing. Is the word nice was thrown around a lot in the movie, but it was thrown around in both parties.
Yeah.
So you had the Kims saying that the rich Park family, they're nice because they're rich and nice because they have all this.
Yeah.
And then you have the other side of the story where the Parks are saying wants the whole family to hide and in the family in that, and they're saying the father's really nice as a driver. He's just really nice. He's a good driver. Has a really nice
manners,
politeness to him. The mum, being the housekeeper, is very nice, and that it doesn't matter that these are just people working for him. They still think that they're nice.
Yeah.
Because there's no qualities that they can see to make them bad in any way.
And the Kim family, like, they're sort of cynical, but they're sort of just like, well, these people are gullible. We're just seizing an opportunity.
Yeah.
Like, they're not going, oh, these dumbasses and, whatever.
No.
They don't think they're dumb. They just think they're gullible.
Yeah.
And, like, when the final person they hire is the mum as the caretaker, and part of the details, it was just a little throwaway line that they, like, I thought they were going to expand upon, but when they're asking for her details, they're like, the title to your house.
Yeah.
Send a copy of that.
Yeah.
So that's when I thought it was going to be like the Carney episode of The Simpsons.
Yeah.
I was
yeah.
They're going to go on the holiday and they're going to come back and be locked out. And they're
like,
we have the title.
Like, hey, he's fucking cynical.
And I was like, The Simpsons did this 30 years ago.
Yeah. You can't take that shit. Yeah, they might have predicted it, but fuck. Can't make it now.
So there's the underlyings of, well, maybe that's the plan, and that's where they're going to go before it derails and they discover this other thing and start to panic and unfurl the initial plan. So the thing that happens, we briefly mentioned it, is the other family living down.
Yeah.
And the movie, like, even in tone, the movie takes quite a turn. It's like it happens during a storm. They're all drunk and like swearing at each other, yelling at each other.
Yeah.
The Kim family, the casting is spot on. Like, their chemistry as a family, I was fully in on them being a family. Yeah. I was like, they're all related. Yeah, because of the way they talk to each other, it's so natural.
They all had that same little click to them. Yeah, where not one of them was like a little bit, worse off than the other. They were all pretty much on the ball. They knew what their roles were, what they were doing to make this work. Yeah. So they're all very, very together.
And you see, like, when he's introducing his sister, they have that little hand signal to remember lines.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just more world building. You're like, oh, okay, so last night they sat down and they figured out this thing.
Which
you don't need to show. You can just have that. I mean, you don't need to tell, you just show it.
Yeah. But they do show it as well when the dad gets involved and they're reading the lines.
Yeah. And they're like acting it out.
Yeah, when they're trying to get the mum.
And he's fired up.
Yeah. And he's like, no, you got to take it down.
Tone it down.
Too much emotion. Take it down a bit.
And just like, they were such a joy to watch all together. I think they just bounced off each other perfectly. Even though it is like sort of theatrical and they're not just going, this person says a line, this person says a line. Yeah. They like interrupt each other and like, nah, what do you know? And they're just like, it's really natural. Yeah. It's brilliant.
It feels brilliant.
And they're really good. And that scene when they're all drunk and then they all just like sober up like that when the old housekeeper comes to the door and then just fucks off downstairs. Like,
yeah. No, there's, it just does so well in like nearly every aspect of what you could expect from a top class performance.
Yeah. And it's paced out really well as well. Like, it doesn't overstay its welcome.
Yes. And that's the thing.
No scenes linger on too long.
One thing I found, how long so this movie was just over 2 hours long. Yeah. How long did you think you were watching it for?
Honestly, like an hour and 20 minutes.
Really?
Yeah, to me, it felt like it just flew by.
For me, I felt like I was watching for 3.5, 4 hours.
Oh,
I felt like I was on this fucking long-ass journey.
Yeah.
Like, and I wasn't doing anything. We're just downstairs, me and Brooke watching it on the couch, just normal. And watching the whole thing, I no doubt, I thought I was there for about 3 hours.
Were you, like, tense? Were you like, what's going to happen? Or were you just, like, living as it, watching it go?
I was trying to live for it because that's how I want it. I just want to let the movie come to me.
even for as well as it was done, this is more just a commentary on me, I guess. I was sitting there going, okay, well, where's this going to go? And that's when I came to the Simpsons theory. I was like, okay, they're going to steal the house and there'll be a big like blow up to get it back.
Yeah, I had that like little spark in my head when that happened as well. Like, that was going to be a sort of turn.
And it's literally one line over the phone. You don't see the character say it. You just hear at the end of a scene, sort of.
Yeah.
Like, oh, why do we need this? Yeah, whatever. And she's like, okay.
Yeah. No, it. I didn't want to try and think about where this movie was going because I knew that this was a smart movie. I knew that there was more shit happening, and I'm like, dumb, got to think about this one. Don't just think there's going to be. Look, fuck. When I heard about this movie, I thought this was going to be a fucking Korean horror movie.
I thought it was a horror movie too. Just the title.
You hear the name Parasite and that it's Korean.
Like, it's going to be like a body horror movie.
I look down and I go, I've watched a lot of Korean movies and Asian cultured movies with similar titles. I know what I got out of them. This is not what I was getting out of it. So it automatically from the start, this movie fucked me.
Yeah.
And it was always planned to fuck me as soon as I knew that this was a smart movie. And to all my friends in that have been very excited for us to do this episode and do this movie, how disappointed you may be because I'm not smart.
I think it'll reel, like, it's just such a good movie, it'll reel any of that back and win people back.
Yeah.
I reckon.
Yeah, just know we're not uncultured or anything.
I definitely am. Did you hear me butcher the director's name at the start of this? Fuck me.
But look, is it culturally appropriate that we at least gave it a shot?
I guess.
Like, we're not just going to say, oh, yeah, that guy that we just can't say his name of. Give it a crack.
Yeah.
Realize that we fucked it up.
Well, it's amazing that the Academy did that. Because look at every Best Picture winner. It's like an old white guy biopic.
Yeah, very easy.
Or the news happens. I don't know. Was that one Spotlight or whatever? I don't fucking know. This is more old white people. All right.
What the fuck are you going on about right now?
Look, what I'm saying is, a Korean film, like a foreign language film, won Best Picture. So obviously, you know it's going to be good.
Yeah.
In some way.
But
and it's not just going to be a bunch of old white dudes reading the news.
Yeah, but
I don't know what movie I'm talking about, but I swear it happened. I think it was
you're racking my brain now.
Spotlight or something. We'll hear about it. It was like Spotlight or Searchlight. And Mark Ruffalo was in it.
You're fucking thinking of Moonlight.
No, I'm not thinking of Moonlight. They fight the news. I don't know. Don't worry about it. Cut the edit.
That one Best Picture?
Once. Let's get back on track. You're going to hear an edit.
Okay, yeah, but
the movie was called Spotlight, and it was about the news. All right.
Hey man, whatever you're into, bro. Whatever you're into.
Yeah, it's just like it did good. All right.
Okay.
It's a good movie that did well.
That's fun. There's a lot of movies that
was my
point. Well. Yeah. So moving to like the third act to this movie. Fuck, it just goes fucking hard, doesn't it?
The pedal hits the floor and it just ramps up.
This is where we were sitting in the lounge going, whoa, what
hold
the
on.
fuck is going on now? Because as soon as it starts hitting the story of the original caretaker's husband living downstairs in the basement and the family not knowing about this basement that's actually in the house.
Yeah.
Saying he's been there for fucking 4 years because he's avoiding loan sharks. He took out too many loans or whatever. And you go, it's a fucking long time to be sitting in a cold-ass basement. And it brings about the scene where the mum's talking about what happened to their young boy in first grade when he woke up in the middle of the night to go have some of his cake.
Yeah. And
that's when the guy living in the basement was coming up to sort of get a bit of food and shit. And that's where you get that fucking creepy ass cultured shit with him coming up. Just
that shot will give me nightmares.
It's fucking giving me nightmares now trying to fucking talk about it.
Because like
his head just slowly raises up and the eyes are as white and gleamy as fucking Gollum.
It's not like a jump scare. It's just like just a really like uncomfortable vision. Like you can imagine that at night getting a drink, seeing something like that. Horrific. Absolutely horrific.
Fucking scared me because I'm just like, Oh man, just fucking talking about it.
Yeah.
It hurts.
And I was like, well, maybe it is
going
going to go in a horror direction. Like,
Yeah.
But not like slasher horror or whatever. Like,
Yeah,
just
no,
really
like-
unsettling like that.
Yeah, like he's some sort of like fucking weird ass
Yeah.
mutant.
But it doesn't. They just like, they both the poorer family scramble to like sort of take over this house, really.
Yeah, yeah. And that's when the movie starts to turn of you knowing there's more parasitic entities than you once thought there was ever going to be.
And you learn that the Kim family had this meticulous plan, and the whole movie you're going, wow, they're really clever, they're really, really smart. But one kink in the plan, that's it. The dad like gets really depressed, and he's like, yeah, the plan's done, we're fucked.
Yeah.
We're going back to the hovel. Like,
Yeah,
this is it. It's all over.
It really fucking turns.
And it's really, really dark. The way he talks is really dark. Like, yeah, there's no point having a plan because life fucking sucks.
Yeah,
everything's going to go wrong.
There's a point I'll get to about the whole plan making, but when you're moving to this this new scene of now, the whole big party's happening at the parks place, and everyone's all getting around having fun. It's a sunny, beautiful day, and all the shit's been happening in the basement. They knocked out the original caretaker lady, and she's all fucking concussed the fucking shit house, dying in this basement while the fucking husband's just sitting there watching it happen. And the Kim family, you have the son now going, obviously wanting to go kill the guy downstairs. He takes that big rock of wealth with him, because he's starting to get in his mind as he's trying to get with the daughter, being like, do I fit in this crowd?
Mm-hmm.
Because to her, she thinks he's like this maybe middle classy.
He's at least a university student.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah, with some sort of degree to be able to teach him that. But to him, he's like, all I've pretty much known is, lower class squire.
Yeah.
And now I'm at this mansion, rich family's party for no reason, just got sprung about. He goes to party. It's really starting to affect the family.
Yeah, and you don't know if it's guilt or if it's just like, they're just like, we'll never live like this. And it's just really sad.
Yeah.
Like, they're really sad that they will never live like, even though they've gotten in, essentially, they got a foot in the door, they're still not. They're still not this.
Knowing now of that looming threat that lives below them, where they should have been living, is a massive threat to their plan.
Yeah.
Essentially. And I think that's just where their original plan just starts to derail. And each character has their own weird thoughts and
sort of like an internal meltdown each.
Thinking like, we've come this far, but now it can all be taken back, and we're going back to the way we were.
Yeah.
So the son going downstairs to kill the husband, which in turn backfires.
Quite dramatically backfires.
Very dramatically. And the original guy in the basement just absolutely going on a serial killer spree. Yeah. Runs upstairs, massive butcher blade in hand.
Again, his eyes, like, he doesn't blink the whole time. He's just like...
Just wide-eyed. Fucking seeing the sunlight, all these rich people, and knowing that he needs to kill this family, and stabbing the daughter.
Yeah. I don't really know what his plan was. That's not clear. Like, does he think killing them will he'll go back to normal? And
because his whole thing is like, he respects the parks. Yeah. His whole thing, he fucking worships.
He sort of worships the dad,
That's why he sets off the lights whenever they walk up the stairs.
Yeah.
He fucking yells, "Respect!"
Yeah. Yeah, it's like he's praying to a god, pretty much.
Yeah, because you've been down there for so long, so it's sort of like, it makes sense. You're in this isolation for so fucking long.
You're just indoctrinated to what you know.
Yeah. And, obviously, I think the only thing you can put it down to is he thinks his family is now a threat to him and to the family. Yeah.
Yeah, he might see it as like, he's like a martyr. Like,
especially now that they know that he's down there.
Yeah.
So he's obviously going to think, well, fuck, if they go on and call the cops or anything, they're going to find me, I'll go to jail, or kill with loan sharks or whatever. And he just decides just to fucking try and murder as many people as he can.
Yeah, this is what we mean by it being very metaphorical and very sort of open for interpretation.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure they had an idea when they were writing it. And directing
I'm
it,
sure there's more people that have watched this movie and they fucking know right now what it was, and they'll listen to us going,
you could probably go and
you
find
guys are fucking dumb.
Case
We're not the
studies
smartest people in the fucking world.
We just watch movies.
We just watch the movies. Jack doesn't watch movies, but he watches movies.
I watched them once and...
You dug yourself into a hole here.
Oh, yeah, look.
Yeah. We're trying our best. That's all we can fucking say. But that's why this movie is so open to anyone's thoughts. You can think about this movie in any way.
Yeah.
It's set in certain aspects, but then there's other points in the movie you can sort of make your own.
Yeah, there's their idea, but it's just open-ended, really.
Yeah. There's parts that'll tie it up, but obviously you can if you're smart enough, you can figure out exactly what the fuck's going on.
Or you can go and read all the theories and whatnot online.
Yeah, there's a fucking few.
Which I started to do today, and it was just like the biggest circle jerk of people going, well, I didn't like this bit, and I didn't like this bit. And I was like, all right.
Yeah, you need to
I just wanted to know what some of it means, not what fucking...
If you have that brief idea, then you're sort of fine.
Yeah.
You can grasp the rest of it from there.
And I enjoyed it just as watching, like, just something go fucking catastrophically wrong.
Yeah, because that's where it just goes from 0 to 100.
Yeah, and then the family sort of just end up where they were at the start.
Yeah,
back underground. There's one of them's gone into hiding. The dad's gone into hiding.
Yeah,
the daughter's obviously dead.
Because back to that scene at the party when the killing's all happening. Right. Obviously the daughter's been stabbed. The Park's daughter is carrying the Kim's son out, who's been bashed with the rock. He's covered in blood. And this is where the family are like tending to their own, but the Parks are just like, what are you doing? We need to go to the hospital now.
Yeah, why are you looking after the other workers? Because they still don't know.
And that's where you don't really get the sense that they click onto, oh, fuck, maybe they do know each other.
Yeah, no, it's still just like because this panic.
At the end of the day, the only person that sort of had an idea was the son of the Parks. There's that one scene where he smells them all and he goes, they all smell the same.
Yeah.
And you go, bro, you're fucking weird. What are you smelling them for?
Yeah. Instead of the parents going, oh my God.
Yeah.
And then it all, because that's super unrealistic. The parents wouldn't go, oh, well, they know each other and they come from the same place. Like, they're just going to be like, shut up, you dumb kid. Like, get out of
here. And that's when you get the full snap from the dad.
Yeah.
Who just, as the father of the Parks is rolling over the guy in the basement's body to get his keys, and just wriggles in fucking foul stench and covers his nose, and that's when the dad just fucking snaps because they start to incorporate the stench of poor people. Yeah. And when they're hiding under the table through the night and they're talking about that foul smell that comes from the driver.
Yeah.
And it's really affecting him because he always like smells his shirt like, oh, do I really smell that bad?
Yeah, it's obviously like an insecurity of his.
Yeah, massive insecurity, obviously. To fucking turn on and just stab the cunt. Yeah, fucking turns. And then, just runs away, goes into hiding. You know what the fuck goes on. And that's when the movie wraps itself up very quickly, but there's still so much going on as it's wrapping itself up.
So the dad, the father of the Kims, ends up in the basement where the other guy was.
Yeah.
So, he's in the house, but he's really no better off than he was with his family in the poor, lower class thing. At least he had his family.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I took away from it, was just you could be worse off. You can still be super skilled, just unlucky. But you had this family that you love and
which
didn't get stabbed.
The daughter is dead.
Yep.
The son got brain surgery and somehow miraculously survived. I thought that was a bit how you going because he got fucking walloped with that rock.
All in one take too. You just see it very clearly.
There's a massive pool of blood.
Yeah.
He's been knocked out on. And then he picks up the rock and throws it at his head again. You're going, okay,
he's dead.
It's a bit overkill.
Yeah.
To me, I'm like, he's dead. That's it. Done.
No,
and then he has a surgery.
Brain surgery.
Okay.
But they do imply he's brain damaged and
Yeah. Which, it's fine. It works out.
Yeah,
the mum is fine, and they go to court and get put on probation just for, obviously they didn't stab or kill anyone.
Yeah.
Their only thing was trespassing, fraud.
Fraud, yeah. I
guess. And just get a slap on the wrist.
Pretty much.
Try and live your life again. Move back to the semi-basement. It's now just them, and you just get the monologue of the son now throughout the rest of the movie. After finding out that the dad is in the basement, starts sending off Morse code signals as he goes up to the house to sort of see if anyone's moved in and that, and then sees that the lights are flickering, and then has a little glimpse of, fuck, that's Morse code that's been so well versed in the movie. So that's just one more thing. You give me a Korean movie that I don't understand, and then you add in Morse code.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So they're interpreting Morse code in Korean.
Yeah, and then back to English.
Yeah.
Which it's fine, but I just
a lot of layers.
But yeah, and then the monologue just keeps going on about the son's going to have a plan to buy the house, and everything's going to be okay. There'll be a family again.
Nope.
And just it's not going to work out that way because they film it like it's happening, and then they cut it back to the semi-basement. He's sitting there writing the note, and you're like, okay. And that's one of the things where I read that the director had a say in it as well, where he quoted, maybe if the movie ended where they hug and fades out, the audience can imagine, oh, it's impossible to buy that house. But the camera goes down to that half basement where he says it's quite cruel and sad, but I thought it was being real and honest with the audience. You know, and I know, we all know that this kid isn't going to be able to buy that house. I just felt that frankness was right for the film, even though it's sad.
Yeah, I agree. Because it's a pretty fucking heavy ending.
Yeah, it's massively heavy. And you get the feeling when he's talking about his plan as well, you go back to when the dad says, you know what kind of plan never fails? There's no plan at all.
Yeah.
And you already get that feeling. The kid's talking about making a plan.
Yeah, he's like starting a cycle again.
Yeah, he hasn't taken his dad's advice, said, you know what, it's better just to not have that plan.
Yeah.
You can't fail. And that's
it.
As
you
the
just
director
end
says,
up,
just you're going to get that sad ending of...
End up back to where you started.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. You now family's cut in half.
Pretty grim, yeah.
All this shit's happened, and where do you go from there?
Nowhere. Where you were at the beginning.
So,
yeah.
The movie just... It captures everything so fucking brilliantly. And there's a lot of cultural issues that surround like the Asian areas.
Well, that was going to be my question: is what do you think the big metaphor / message is?
Yeah, and it's hard to narrow it down, but it's like the
make it as general or as broad as you can.
It's social economic disadvantages, and I guess maybe greed. Yeah,
I just saw. Yeah, mine was just desperation will make you do fucking crazy things.
Yeah. I think it's just because you see the living conditions that they have, and you know, like in countries in the Asian area, they're very different to how it is in the Western and any of the big English speaking countries. You know, they can live in such smaller areas, and there is a massive difference in upper class and lower class, and it feels like there's never really a middle class. Either you're rich or you're poor.
The gap is like massive.
It's a fucking massive gap, and I feel that's sort of where it's going to bring a lot of people to do this sort of thing.
You
know, they know that there's next to no chance to be able to try and get to where the rich are.
Yeah.
So they got to do whatever they can to.
They got to swindle.
You got to hustle, man.
Swindle and fraud.
You get that hustle on.
And like, yeah, because this is like a heist movie in the way it plays out. Like, it's like an Ocean's 11 movie. Just in the way it's structured and the way everything happens until that very distinct middle point. It's literally like, it's pretty heavy. Like the turning point is literally a bolt of lightning that scares them.
Yeah.
And then the doorbell rings.
Yeah.
And that's like, I don't know if this is a theory. This is just what I think is like, that's the turning point. That's the exact middle point. Like that bang just sort of sets everything off.
Yeah.
Like it's just a bolt of lightning, but in terms of watching the movie.
Yeah, but in a movie like this, it could mean fucking...
It could mean fucking anything. It could be
can mean everything.
It could be a metaphor for the burning bush of Nazareth or whatever. I'm not very Christian.
Jesus Christ.
I have vague references of things.
Yeah. It just fucking hit me. I thought I was going to get through a whole Asian movie without there being a reference to girls' panties.
Yeah. There is that weird sex scene as well. Very, like...
Oi.
over the pants.
Not bad, but we were watching that.
It was a bit out of place.
It was out of place for the one thing that the windows are wide open
Yeah.
and their son is just in a tent right outside in perfect view of them fully going into it.
Full blown over the pants.
Very over the pants and a little bit of under the pants stuff. And then I guess they just fucking go full for it.
But like
Why not?
in that scene, they're like, they fired the driver because they're like, oh, he might be doing drugs or having gross sex.
Bringing his girlfriend and.
But then, like, when they're in the heat of the moment, she's like, can you get me drugs? And he's like, can you get me those gross soiled panties?
That's when it fucking.
So it's just like, yeah, they're still like, everyone has their.
Found,
yeah, everyone has
if you
their
put
vice.
them on, I'll get really fucking hard. I'm just going, come on, we were getting such a good movie. We have to bring that into it. But
it's like everyone has their thing, I guess.
I know. It's part of the thing, whatever. I'll accept it. It was just that one part. I'll let the rest fly because it was a fucking top class movie.
Yeah, it's good.
And
I like it.
There's just a plethora of things that you can fucking say in this movie. But fuck.
Just immerse yourself in it. Yeah, just immerse yourself in it.
Yeah. It's gonna rack you, and depending on your ability to comprehend, it's gonna change the film for you, I guess.
But even if you don't watch movies that way, it does tell you. It's not like heaps blunt and it's like this is the point of the movie, but it is like
it leads you in.
It's well written enough to sort of like, hey, here's what we mean.
Yeah. You just got to go into it knowing that it's a very dramatic, theatrical performance with more dialogue to be spoken and taken than what's more being portrayed.
Just the performances alone are worth a watch. I can't stress how good that family is.
Yeah, every single actor in that film,
really
actress was just there. They all killed all their spots.
Definitely.
They knew exactly what they were doing. They knew how to make a good movie. And so one question this brings around for me, having this movie win an Oscar for Best Picture, where does this take international films now? And should there now be a bigger case for international films need a dub opposed to a sub? No.
I think it should put more attention on international films. It should make the Academy go, well, there's gold.
Yeah.
It's not just here. There's gold everywhere.
Yeah.
And we should consider more. Because, I don't know if they're worried about, there'll be too many nominations or something. What's the problem with that? Who cares if you have 30 nominations? That's great.
Yeah.
That's great for your industry.
Yeah, just give the recognition. Realistically, at the end of the day, if they can, focus on areas where they don't give any attention to, it's just going to bring more people that are going to want to do shit and make it fucking
and
brilliant.
More interesting, new, even just standalone shit like this.
Yeah, because most of these movies are always just a standalone film.
Yeah.
You're not going to get a sequel out of most.
That's because it's just a biopic or whatever. It's just
Yeah. So the other case was because it won Best Picture, a lot of people saying, well, it should be dubbed over because more people are getting the attention of it.
Yeah.
But they go, I don't want to read subtitles because they're just whining little bitches.
That's the plight of the American.
Yeah, they've never seen SBS.
No, I don't know. I don't think it matters at all.
Yeah.
I think they should, if they're going to submit the film for nomination, it should be the film as it's intended.
Yeah.
The subtitles alone are just like a nice favor for us.
Yeah.
I don't think they should fucking reenact the whole movie.
I think because
with lesser actors just doing a dub. It would be really unfair to the movie.
Of course. And I think this movie doing what it did is sort of more or less said, okay, you don't need to dub movies then.
Yeah.
And as much as people are saying and asking 100%. The question, this just shows you don't fucking have to dub it.
Absolutely not. Just leave the art how it is.
Yeah. It just has to get that recognition from the higher ups.
Because it wouldn't make sense in the culture, some of the stuff they do, some of the food they make, or just their traditions and their like we were saying with the manners and stuff. That's really, really important.
Yeah.
But if they're talking like us, I don't know, it just wouldn't make sense.
Yeah.
It would take. I think it would take away from part of the enjoyment of this movie is
Yeah.
like another culture. You're seeing another culture and how
a dub would definitely
it would happen over there.
A dub would definitely change everything for a movie.
Yeah.
Because the speech is a big part, even if it is in a foreign language you can't understand.
Yeah.
There's still the emotion behind the voice of how they're saying it.
Yeah.
And in those foreign languages, something can be said in such emotion that can't be portrayed in English spoken.
And we've been sat here the whole time saying they're incredible actors, and they are incredible actors. They're just not speaking English. They're still like putting everything into the performance.
Yeah,
we just don't understand what they're saying.
They're exactly. There's no case to say that these actors in foreign countries aren't at the level of like Leo DiCaprio, Jim Carrey.
Not at all.
No, they're all there. They just speak a different fucking language.
And we just don't see as much of it because it doesn't get pushed to major release.
Unless you go to that little tiny section at the end of JB Hi-Fi where here's the small little world cinema section. You're not going to hear about anything.
That's a damn shame. So I'm hoping this does open the door. To answer your question, I hope this does bring more international films to more eyes, really.
Yeah, it really should, because there's so many good fucking international films out there. You just look past the subtitles.
So you just miss them. Straight up miss them.
Like, if you want a fucking great international film, Shaolin Soccer.
And then its follow-up, Kung Fu Hustle.
Yeah.
Because that's probably in my top 5 movies ever.
Just watch those movies and just have a fucking ball. Shaolin Soccer is completely, like, ludicrous and makes absolutely no sense. It's just Kung Fu and soccer, and it is the fucking most brilliant thing ever. But, like, they know they're not making
a masterpiece
movie, but they still have so much fun with it.
Yeah.
And it's so fun to watch. But, yeah, Parasite is just... It deserves everything it got.
Deserves all your attention. Deserves the hype.
Like, because I watched this and Joker only a couple nights ago, and it's hard for me to, like, toss up between the two.
Yeah.
Because they're such...
I enjoyed both of them so differently.
Yeah. They've got similar emotions, but different styles, but are both acted, directed, written.
One whacks you over the head with it a bit more. Joker, really, you can tell that was made for and by Westerners, because it's like, at the end, it's literally just like Joaquin Phoenix for 10 minutes going, here's exactly what we mean.
Yeah, exactly. And it hits a different audience.
Whereas Parasite, it's just like, it's so chaotic, and you're like, oh, fuck, what the hell is happening? like there's no... and then the monologue at the end, the letter at the end is sort of explains it, but it's a bit more hopeful.
Yeah.
And then the actual cinematography tells you, no, there's no hope. And that's what that interview was saying before.
Yeah. So they're just
different. They're just different.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, this is just such a brilliant movie. And like, I could not recommend anyone enough to watch this movie.
It demands your attention. If you like movies at all, if you like a good story, if you like watching people be good at acting, like, this is for you.
Definitely. Just don't go in thinking, oh, there's subtitles I've got to read. No, trust me, it's fucking worth it.
Yeah.
There's so much. Like, this is a movie that's we've been waiting for a long time to have such a big impact in the movie. Because you can watch great movies. You can have all the Marvel movies. You can have great action movies. You can somehow keep having Fast and Furious movies. Yeah, they're not the level that this is on.
No.
This is actually just a great movie.
Yeah.
We sit and go, wow.
Yeah, some people call movies films.
Yeah.
This is a film.
It's a film.
Whereas Joker is a movie.
Ooh.
And I think... if you think about that, and I don't explain it because I don't even really know what I mean.
I don't want to ruin my brain again. It's been ruined enough.
Look, there was a throwaway point. I know what I mean.
Okay, well, as long as you know what you mean, that's all.
What I'm saying is Parasite and Fast and Furious 9 are quite different. They're going to be quite different.
Right, but John Cena's going to be in Fast 9.
Oh, God. We're going to have to do it. We're going to have to do it.
Might bring my dad on as a guest.
All right.
He can crack on. Honestly, I don't know anyone who has watched the Fast and Furious movies as much as this guy.
All right. Man.
The worst mistake I ever made was buying him the box set. He has watched every movie once. He has watched Fast and Furious at least 40 to 50 times each
Jesus.
per fucking movie.
Alright.
When I used to live there, you'd walk out into the back room, you'd be lying on the lounge. What did you think was on? One of the fucking movies. Like, Dad, didn't you just watch this? I fell asleep, so I have to watch from this scene again. Like, you started from the start. Well, I got to try to remember. Okay, I don't know how you can watch these movies so much.
We'll just sit him down and let him go.
Yeah.
We'll just let him go.
You watch the movies, sit there and be like, Dad, go. Say what you want. You go, oh my God. Fucking so good. The Rock, man. Fuck. The Vin Diesel, oh my God. He just, every movie, they're fucking the same. So good. Fucking love him. But yeah, they're definitely on two different platforms, Parasite and Fast.
That was my point. I didn't know you'd latch onto it like that.
I'm just gonna
like a Parasite.
Just fuck it. You gotta
see that's the comedy you come for, baby.
That's it.
That's a pun.
The full comedy is just knowing that is realizing I have too many fucking voices. Like listening to this back.
Yeah, that wasn't racist. That's your actual dad's voice.
Yeah, there's that.
He's your literal.
But I'm talking also like when I listen back to these episodes, I sound so different to what I do talking and when I'm on stage. And I don't know. Everyone's just like, you sound so fucking weird when you're doing these episodes. I'm like, because I don't know how to fucking talk.
So I don't talk a lot in real life, like at work or anything. I just don't talk.
You used to talk about
so most of the feedback is like, it's weird to hear you talk not on the internet. Well, I'm still on the internet, but I'm just using my voice now.
Yeah, it's just a different fucking platform. Just deal with it. Fuck. So to everyone that's saying I fucking sound different, fuck you, I don't care.
All right, we have a minute and 20 seconds to wrap this up. So watch Parasite. It's
fucking
brilliant.
Watch Parasite, man.
Deserves all the hype. It just deserves it.
Yeah.
It's one of the best stories. Like,
yeah, you can get away saying you watched an international film for the first time, you fucking loved it.
Yeah.
And just stop it there at Parasite. That's all you need.
Pretty much.
So out of a rating, it's a definite, I give it 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I wasn't bothered by any of the flaws or Reddit seemed to be bothered by.
Which is very hard for you.
Yeah, so I love this movie.
Very,
I love it.
Love the movie.
I've been Jack.
And I've been Adam.
Thanks for listening. Do all the feedback and stuff. We're running out of time.
Yeah, that sort of thing. So we'll catch you on the next one on the You Like That podcast.
Ooh.